Hi everybody, it's Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Our headline today is Yields Not Buying Oil Spike and Stocks Bitcoin Gasping for Air. Crude oil has been rising due to problems in Asia, Eastern Europe. Crude oil rising does put upward pressure on the 10-year Treasury note yield. However, the 10-year Treasury note yield isn't totally buying this as being a continuing problem, as we closed today pretty much exactly at 4%. And now that we've had several closes clearly below 4%, it's acting as a clear resistance. It's possible that a super high CPI print that does come out tomorrow morning maybe could drive this higher, but right now I'm seeing this as sort of it lazily going up because it's just saying, okay, yeah, crude oil's going up for a little bit, so the yield, 10-year Treasury note yield has to go up for a little bit. Rates further out also rose, making TLT go down. However, the MOVE index, the volatility of bonds, actually dropped today, further adding to the case that the bond market is not buying this spike in oil as anything other than a temporary spike in oil. I think everyone expects this to reverse sooner than later. Moving on to the second part of the headline, stocks and Bitcoin gasping for air. I mentioned yesterday that Monday's up move and pause, it looks like on Wednesday it was a blow off top, was going straight back down. Instead, we went up, and so we are fighting, sort of fighting. We stopped still. Again, we're right at the top of Friday the 10th candle. In order for things to get bullish, we really got to get above this candle here. I want to add that we saw a very similar thing that we have been seeing again today in the small caps, the IWM. The IWM rose today by 1.27%, but notably on much less volume than yesterday's bigger down day. Also remember, Bitcoin has led the stock market now for quite a while and remains the best way to see how global liquidity is acting. We're nowhere near the peak of October 6th still, and we're not even really fighting to go higher here. Instead, we're pretty much just coiling up at the bottom here, making it look more like a bear flag than anything else. And speaking of bear flags, Nvidia still forming in this bear flag that we've been talking about. Once again, I don't have a ton of charts to talk about today, so we're just going to finish up the chart section of our show. Right now, gold, I said yesterday, my most likely idea of what would happen here would be forming a bear flag. It's exactly what's happening so far. Granted, only 2 candles you can't count that really. We need at least a third. And it's not really officially a bear flag till you get about 5 of them. But the fact that we're, consolidating at the bottom of this candle, yeah, I mean, what else can you call this at this current moment other than a bear flag? I also wanted to bring up today the fear and greed index again, still like verging on extreme fear. I find this just fascinating that the stock market is just a stone throw away from all-time highs, including the small caps, by the way, where the all-time high was October 15th, after we finally broke through. Sorry, you can't see that. After we finally broke through this double top. We hadn't seen a new high until very recently in September. We finally got there, but now we're still not finding higher highs. But we're as close as we can get to the all-time high, and yet the fear and greed index is verging on extreme fear. This is, you don't see this very often. Put that together with when you take the average 10-year history of earnings of the S&P 500 and you compare it to the price. The stock market has basically never been more expensive over the last 175 years, except for the dot-com bubble. Is the only other time in history when the Shiller PE ratio is this high. I think there's still a pretty darn good chance the top is in, but I guess we'll see. On to the community topics. What moves, if any, did you make today? Comment below. I'm curious. Robschild sits on hands, does nothing. I don't include all my short positions all the time on my website. I am still short Bitcoin right now, and I still have a decent sized short on the S&P 500 SPXU. Did you make any moves today? If you did, comment below. Coming up, remember, economic data is still in limbo. We're missing now 3 weeks of initial continued jobless claims reports. When these all come out at once, oh boy, hold on to your hat. It could be a doozy. We're also waiting for the employment report that we didn't get. And it's not just this data, by the way. It's a lot more other data that hasn't been released. Because of the federal government being shut down. When it all gets released all at once, I mean, it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be a chaotic time whenever that does end up happening. Or who knows, maybe it'll get chaotic, even more chaotic before that even happens. Maybe something else will rock the boat so hard that all of this stuff will look like, yeah, we knew that this was already happening. I don't know. Watch out, though. Things are about to get rocky in my strong estimation. Anyway, we still have to look forward to constant tariff updates, geopolitical tensions, all that stuff going on in the world right now. Tomorrow, CPI. We do get CPI. I think it's going to be a nothing burger. I don't think it's going to affect things. The market's already expecting it to be pretty high. As long as it's not crazily far off of expectations, I don't anticipate it affecting things all that much, but I guess we'll see. As always, thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, and supporting. I've been getting some extra special support from some of you. It's much appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. No changes to my crystal ball ratings. And click on my website. Link in the description to read through my daily reminders, current macro views, portfolio explained, and stock research center, which still needs updating. I got distracted from another project, another book review actually, that I plan on doing ASAP. Anyway, that's all from me and my crystal ball for today. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Robschild.